Greetings, friends. A couple of things on my mind. Had to walk up to CVS a few minutes ago to get my levothyroxine for thyroid. And of course, they have the sign about face masks being recommended or suggested. Go into the store and every employee has them covering their face. Like I never wear when I do have to put one on, I don't cover my nose the way most people do. I at least leave the part of it exposed because it feels so weird to do otherwise. I don't know how they could come up with something more annoying unless they could cook up some reason to have something in your anus. But I was wondering, what is of course, we've known for a long time that corporations and the government are one and the same. I guess I didn't expect to see it illustrated to the point that it has been, with this thing. But why is there not even one business that makes their placard say, the World Health Organization has made it clear that these masks are only effective if you are sick or you are caring for someone that's sick. The virus, supposing it exists as they say it does, is too small to go through. I mean, it's too small to be protected by these stupid face masks. And I guess that industry's, the people that make those must be having a booming time right now. I don't know if it's something about taxes or, I mean, why wouldn't one business, one corporation tell the truth about this? Surely there are people in these high places that, so-called high places, that know about this, the mask situation. And yes, it gets exacerbating and frustrating, especially with the knowledge that there's going to be more of this to come. And the reason I was walking is I haven't had a cell phone in going on 3 weeks, and because I dropped the old one too many times. And so every time that happens, I have to kind of start from scratch and remember what you do to, reestablish the new mechanism with your provider. And so there begins the SIM card fuckery and ripoff. I intend to use DuckDuckGo all the time, but I don't click the right thing, and sometimes I search under Google. And anyway, so I searched for some information about SIM card compatibility, and it said if your phone is unlocked, then pretty much any SIM card will work. Well, that is not true. And as I've thought about it since then, I've realized that Google probably puts that information there because that's going to cause people to buy unusable SIM cards, because you have to open it up to see if it's going to work. And then, so then obviously you can't return it if you've, broken apart the packaging. So first I got an AT&T bring your own SIM card at the Walmart grocery close to where I work. And when I talked to the people at Straight Talk, they said, well, one of the cards can be AT&T, but not that one. So that was $10. And the guy tells me what you need is the T-Mobile, bring your own SIM card. So I found that at Walgreens. Another $10. Called Straight Talk back. The lady says, no, I'm sorry, that one's not compatible. So now, since I can't summon a Lyft or an Uber with my phone, and the other Walmart that would have the Straight Talk cards is not within walking distance, I ordered it from Amazon. But, when I learned about computers, there's this kind of interconnected agency that makes sure components are not being sold that are going to require a whole new, for instance, when USB came around, everything went to being USB compatible. You didn't buy some device and then have to get some adapter or whatever to use it. They agreed that made sense to have everybody on the same page with how it's going to connect to the computer. And that's what needs to happen with SIM cards. It's ridiculous and if you count the cell phone cases that I match up the fucking number and everything of what my cell phone is to order the cases never fit either. So on the last cell phone, I wasted at least $20 or $30 that way. And on this cell phone, I've wasted another $30 like that because I ordered a fucking case that said it was, fit this phone, and it doesn't. And, I don't have that money to throw away. So yeah, this situation with the masks and social distancing that has no basis in fact or reality does get to take a toll and be frustrating. So, as usual, I have to look within and go within and find, well, that's the only place peace has ever really comes from, is within in the first place. But there's certainly not anything on the outside that is seeming like it's very harmonious. I was walking to work the other morning, and one nice thing did happen. I went to mail a letter up by the mailboxes, and this guy from just the parking lot right across, who I've never really met, drove up and asked if I needed a ride. And so I'm like, sure. And I guess it's a black fella, and he lives with his woman. She wasn't there, but just, had seen me, said he saw me outside with the dog, and that told me how long he's lived here, and we've lived here about the same amount of time, and told me what he does and for a living and stuff, because I offered to come smoke one with him, but he's a truck driver, so he doesn't do that anymore. And just a very nice thing for someone to do out of the blue. And so that was nice. And then a few months ago, I was checking out at Walmart and had misremembered my amount of cash in my wallet, and was standing there sort of frustrated for a minute while I was going to figure out what to put back, or what had happened with my math in my head. Can't imagine how that wasn't right. But this woman came up and said something defective, like, oh, what is it? Are you short? And I'm like, yeah. And so she put about the $11 or so on her card, and I thanked her very much. And stuff like that just blows me away, excuse me, sometimes, because you don't really expect it. But there are good people around. And if they make a greater point at work about the face masks, I've been able to get by with barely having it on right. But if they make a bigger deal about it, I'm probably going to look into getting a medical exemption, or there's also something you could do through disabilities with not wearing a mask. I have to say, on the side of the QAnon stuff, which I pay very little attention to, but I have paid attention to some of the videos about it. So some of the stuff, there are a lot of things going on behind the scenes during this COVID nonsense, and so we'll just have to wait and see what happens in the long run. I'm not jumping on any bandwagons anytime soon. I'm just saying that there does seem to be some evidence that big changes are afoot.